Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. Got a video from Modern Dating here.
Guys, I have just come across a post that was asking men why or what their reasons would be for not dating a single mother. I swear to God, I was intrigued and I said, you know what, let's see what they're saying. I wrote down some of the comments because, do you know, all I say is single mums, including myself, you're lucky you're single and not having to actually deal with anybody like this.
You're lucky to be single mothers. Congratulations. You ladies just play yourselves.
Right. So there's two types of comments, right? One is a boy's response and the others are men's responses. And that's what the difference is when you see the men from the boys. So here's the first comment, right? The person said, these now are reasons why they won't date single moms. Manipulation, dishonesty, and baggage not healed.
True.
Fair enough. He probably has come across some women like that. Okay, that's okay. Don't want to pay for another man's child.
Yeah.
Also okay. If their husbands didn't want them, why would anyone else?
Also true.
It's stingy.
It's stingy because it's true.
And wait for it. The only reason is they'd let you hit it raw. That's absolutely disgusting, right? Another comment was raising another man's kid, wasting resources on children that aren't his. And then we get on to some, and to be fair, look, that is fair enough, right? You know, there probably is single moms out there that, you know, probably need that financial support.
Probably. There's probably single moms out there that might need the financial support, really? You don't think probably 90% of single mothers are going to need some kind of financial support?
From their partner for kids that aren't their own. I don't know, because I'm not in that predicament, right? Here we go, another comment, right? Real men aren't scared to date good women, children or not. Hands down to that response.
Stupid.
All I say. And then the other final one was
The whole real man thing is just, it almost always turns men off as soon as we hear that the sentence start off with, when real men, shut up.
scared to be attached to kids and later losing them with no rights and no visits.
True.
This is actually one of the main reasons. It's not an easy thing to process. When things don't work out, it's incredibly hard to let go of everything, and most men would rather not deal with that kind of emotional fallout. It's not just the end of a relationship. It's also the loss of a child they've bonded with, and that's what hurts the most. As a stepfather, he has no legal say or right to see the child once the relationship ends. That's the harsh reality many men know they're likely to face if they put themselves in that position.
Like, those last two comments were from real men who actually have things in perspective, right? I can also get men not wanting to be financially responsible for children that aren't their own. Understand all that, but some of the comments, like, oh my God, I didn't write them all down, like, but just ones that were themed. So these were kind of themed across the response. And there's a fair few men, right, in the comment section of that particular.
Like, this is the preference of men. They're telling you how they feel, right? And you just discount them as boys because they're not feeling proper to how you think men should feel about this subject?
Post. It's on Facebook, by the way. That really think that they'd be financially responsible for children that aren't theirs, and they didn't want that. Is that a thing?
Now
Like they never done any research, like, at all on their own, other than go into the comments section and just read comments.
she's trying to be disingenuous. She's mature enough to understand how household dynamics typically work. She knows that when she enters a relationship, the man is expected to contribute financially at a certain level, and that contribution is naturally affected by the size of the family they have. Let me give a quick example to make this clearer for anyone who still doesn't understand the point. Imagine a man is in a relationship with a woman who has 2 children, a boy and a girl. If they're planning to move, they'll need to look for a 3-bedroom house. And we all know he'll be expected to contribute toward that. Even if they split the expenses in half, it would still cost significantly more than what someone would pay to rent a smaller place.
True.
So what she said doesn't make sense, and anyone being honest would see that. This is just to highlight the difference.
It's definitely one of the what we call gaslighting tactics. Is it really like that?
Real thing. Not everyone can afford or is willing to take on additional expenses on top of what they already have. That's just reality.
People are barely able to afford dating.
Pretending it wouldn't place any financial strain on the guy is simply not being truthful.
Because I don't know, in my situation, like, I don't need anyone to be financially responsible for my children. They have me. I have a good job, and they have their own dad. You know, as a single mom, you wouldn't be looking for a dad replacement, so I don't get that.
I understand where she's coming from, and she might be the exception, but this
It's like they can never have the empathy to put themselves in other women's shoes or other people's shoes that are not exactly like theirs. They can only see it from their own lens through their own experience, which is like so close-minded of these people.
is not the norm. Most women still expect the man they're in a relationship with to contribute, regardless of their income.
Now, maybe there is certain situations where some men have come across that in the past. And look,
That's literally most situations when it comes to single mothers, you lying whore.
all is relative, right? So I'm not here dissing real, genuine reasoning from experience that you may have as a man. Absolutely not. What I am appalled with is just the nasty, really disgusting comments from men.
Yeah, because they're just having fun in the comments section too. Just like you guys are always constantly saying men should die and all these others. Some of you guys are being facetious. Some of you guys aren't. When it comes to men, most of the time we're just being facetious.
As to why they wouldn't date a single mom, or the only reasons they would, right? You know, but it's absolutely bizarre that majority actually think that they would be financially responsible for a child that aren't there.
It's bizarre that you think that they aren't.
Is that a thing? Can somebody give me some insight?
Like men are telling you it's a thing, and you still can't wrap your head around it, and are still trying to disprove it.
Because certainly in my situation, as I've mentioned, isn't the case at all.
I don't understand why she was so focused on this point when it's self-explanatory. Is she really expecting a man to spend nothing on the household? Even though she claimed her situation is different, as she doesn't need a man to contribute financially, I still find that hard to believe. Was she implying that he would live with them and not pay for anything? That's the part she conveniently avoided discussing. It's easy to say she doesn't need his money, but she never explained how the household expenses would actually be divided. Maybe in her mind, splitting the rent or the electric bill doesn't count as financially contributing to her children, but that's probably where the confusion lies. Realistically, he would end up paying for things everyone uses, and that naturally means he's financially supporting the entire household.
Correct.
Also, we can't ignore the fact that the amount he contributes will depend on the size of the family. That's the uncomfortable truth she avoided, because acknowledging it would weaken her argument. My issue is not that she has a child. A child is not that hard to take care of. The problem is with the mother. At some point, she's going to most likely get fooled by the father of the child to go back, and then you're losing the mother and the child. So it's double the pain and sorrow. I was dating a woman who had 2 sons, 28 and 24, living at home not paying
God dang bums.
into the house, had their own lives, and she thought more about them than me. As in, I done more around her house while they done nothing. I did, and she's now moved into my house, and she's the most wonderful lady I have ever met. Single moms should date single fathers. You guys handle your baggage together.
True.
I don't want to deal with their crazy ex. I have done for years, but when relationship broke down, no right to children after 10 years of being their dad.
But mate, look, I know not everybody out there has, good work and all that stuff. So like I do get it, but I was surprised by some of the commentary, to be honest. As a single mom myself, I was quite horrified by some, surprised by some, and nearly fucking cheered some other comments, you know. So yeah, let me know your thoughts.
It was
Of course, you're gonna cheer on the real men comments.
interesting how she categorized the responses. Those comments she didn't like were placed in the boys group, while the ones she agreed with were conveniently labeled as coming from men.
Correct.
That was smart, but she completely missed the point. Those guys were giving honest and thoughtful responses, and should be acknowledged as such, regardless of whether she liked what they had to say.
Let's make dinner for my baby daddy who I'm no longer in a relationship with. Yes, you heard that correctly. It may sound crazy for some of y'all, but it did.
My man's building the Power Wheel. I bought, so it was like one of my good friends. He had his daughter. It was her first year. I bought her some pink Jeep Power Wheel. I'm excited for him to build that so I can freaking jump in it too.
Isn't for us. My baby daddy and I were friends before we were anything, and we're friends now, okay? He came to put my son's car together, and he asked if I would make him some soul food, and I said absolutely. I know a lot of you ladies hate your baby daddies, let alone cook for them, but that's not the relationship that
I mean, this is wonderful. I don't think this is a bad thing, but this also kind of shows why you kind of need to stay away from single mothers.
we have. That's my family. That's my son's father. Of course, I want him to eat well. Of course, I want him to be successful. Of course, I want the best for him. He's single, I'm single, and he put our son's toy
Why are you guys single? Why don't you just be together?
together while he was there. He bathed our son. He cleaned up after me while I was cooking. He's extremely helpful. This man does so much for us and takes care of us. So what? Making a few meals for him is gonna do what? Because a lot of my girlfriends be like, you're crazy, I would never. I know, ladies, you could never. I would. I absolutely do not mind. He takes care of.
Again, I like this dynamic. I think it's perfectly wonderful. I don't hate on it at all. But again, it gives us a very good insight of how much the ex has a hand in her life.
Us. So I cook for him every now and then whenever he asks. Absolutely, I don't mind. So let me know if any of y'all have a great relationship with your baby daddy.
I like what they have going on, but it's clear she's not being fully honest in this video. She's not telling the whole story, and honestly, every guy watching knows exactly what that scene represents. There's a lot more happening in the background than she's displaying.
Yep.
The fact that they're both single and still have this kind of connection says a lot. Whatever happened between them clearly wasn't enough to completely break their bond. And that is a good thing.
I agree.
So they should just work things out,
I
get
agree.
back together and raise their child.
It seems like they seem like a good couple.
It would be better for everyone involved.
I had to get my Ford baby daddy to come over here and fix my boiler because this one over, look at this one, just laid up with his long hair hanging out. Couldn't fix my damn boiler. Been 2 days. I couldn't take a bath, and I had to call my other baby daddy to come fix it.
Your ass don't talk about it anyway.
Man, shut your ass up. Don't worry about that. I need you to go over there and give my other baby daddy a hand. Just laying around over here
This is just diabolical.
doing nothing. You should go learn something off of him. He could build me a house from the ground up.
That's why he getting paid.
Man, I don't know why I got with your
Talking
ass.
about that. Oh, can I borrow $200 real quick?
I mean, shut your ass up. You better go find those $200. Why do I gotta pay? I'll pay with something else if you want me to. I ain't got money. We could do a little something else real quick. You want that?
As long as they come out my pocket.
You stupid, bro. That was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. Can y'all believe that? Jesus Christ. I swear, get y'all a handyman. Get y'all a handyman.
I don't have to say much.
This is one of those videos where so much is happening, I don't even know where to begin.
Right.
I'm not sure what kind of reaction she was expecting, but it's not a good look for any of them.
None of them.
I have heard of women either expecting, and not just a babysitter for the kids, of women expecting the man, and I've had guy friends tell me this. Women will text them before the date and be like, this is my Zelle, or you can Apple Pay me, like for the Uber to get to the restaurant, or for the child care for the night. And guys are like, is this a thing now? Like, I'm expected to pay for the transportation or the babysitter.
But my husband made a good point. If he has kids, he has to pay for his own babysitter, you know, and now he's expected to pay for not only his babysitter, her babysitter as well, and her Uber and the date. That's expensive.
Anyone who needs a stranger to pay for their babysitter
Broke, dusty, musty, crusty.
or Uber just to go on a date clearly has no business dating. They have more important things to focus on. If you can't cover your basic expenses, that's a clear sign you're not in a stable financial place,
Strong and independent, my ass.
and that deserves more attention than finding love. As for those who do have the money but still feel entitled to someone else's, a reality check is on the way, because the simp era is coming to an end. Most guys aren't falling for that anymore. Anyone showing that kind of entitled energy is getting the date canceled. Why would a man spend his time and money on someone who acts like they're doing him a favor by showing up, when he could go out with someone who's genuinely interested, someone who's not expecting to be paid just to spend time with him?
It's like women just show you the red flags of being a single mother, and they like to play dumb as if they're not red flags in any way, shape, or form, because they know if they acknowledge it, like, you know, Modern Dating Here said, it hurts their argument. It hurts their argument saying that, oh, the single mothers are the best. They already have a ready-made family. They're already good mothers. Blah, blah, fucking blah. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys